I don't normally record using my webcam, at least not this early in the morning, but I have a friend down here. This is Pickwick. He's going to help me play some Minecraft. Aren't you? Yes. Look at that face. Aww. Anyway, let's do this. Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs. Welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla on the 5th Choice server. Today I'm over at Freehaven just for a brief moment, picking up a bunch of this iron that I've been smelting, because as you can see in the hotbar we are making a bunch of hoppers. Today I'm going to be over at the Nameless Ruin doing some more work on the Drowned Abbey, and I need to automate some smooth stone production for stone brick, because I have a ton of cobble from clearing out that large area underwater, and I will probably need to turn a lot of it into stone brick if I want to use the design I have in mind, or at least the one I've done in creative. So I'm putting together a ton of these hoppers and setting up a smelting battery over at the ruin, and I probably have a couple more furnaces in one of these. Yeah, I've got 5 there, so can probably use those for single shots as well. Do I have everything from here? Almost collected it all up, and we'll need a little bit more wood. That's coal. That is not wood. So how's everyone doing today? I'm alright. It's very early in the morning for me. It's been a while since I've recorded this early actually, but I just thought I will get up and get on with things today. I need to do a little bit of video production later in the day. Want to work more on my Terraria series. I've been really enjoying Terraria as well. And you know the way sometimes people say that they kind of fall in and out of love with Minecraft, and don't worry before you start reaching for your keyboard. I'm not in that phase. In fact, I've had a bit of a lull when it comes to inspiration in Minecraft recently. I don't know if that may come across on camera or not, but recently I've been doing a bit more stuff on my Patreon server. I've started my own base. I've kind of given myself a fresh start, and I've kind of regained my love for building in survival Minecraft, which is something that I'd kind of lost a little bit from having so many projects in creative mode. I kind of got a little bit burnt out on survival for a while, but now I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things, and last week's episode I think was kind of showing that I was getting back into it. The courthouse building is kind of, it's something I've kind of built on my own, under my own steam, as opposed to kind of doing stuff in creative mode, which I'd done for a few previous projects. So anyway, I'm waffling a little bit about that, but the point is I'm really getting back into building in survival and kind of feeling like that is worthwhile doing. So we're going to head over to the Nameless Ruin and we're going to get stuck into stuff. It is also really, really cold. The winter came on very quickly all of a sudden, and it's not even officially winter until I think the middle of December, but it's got absolutely freezing in the last couple of days. We actually had some snow on Saturday morning, I think. It kind of like sleeted a little bit for a while. Anyone who's following me on Twitter would probably have noticed that I tweeted that it was kind of snowing, and yeah, that took me by surprise, because it doesn't normally do stuff like that in November. I'm just thinking about where we're going here. It's normally not, it waits to be that cold until December. So yeah, we've got the heating on, we've got the blankets on, we've got lots of warm clothes. We will survive, but oh, hello, got a couple of zombies burning up outside the temple. I've kind of kept the villager breeder down here, even though I'm not really using it now that I've got the villager trading hall downstairs, but it's nice as a kind of distraction for all the zombies. Kind of keeps them away from me when I spawn in over here, and means I can get on with things without being too harassed. But anyway, let's head down to the shore over here, and I'm going to do a little bit of landscaping still around the area where the Drowned Abbey is going to be, because let's face it, the area we've got over here does not look like it's naturally sunk into the water. I'm just going to run out on the lily pads and show you where we got to. Yeah, this area down here, you might not be able to see it super well. I don't have night vision on me right now. But this area down here does not look particularly natural if it all just sunk into the ocean like I want it to look. So we will still have to clear out a bunch of that, but not going to do that on camera right now, obviously, because that is going to take a little while. So yeah, I'm automating some smelteries, which is not something I've done particularly often. so it's something I will probably have to learn a little bit of as I go when it comes to like the tricks of how to do things a little bit faster, but I'm pretty sure this is going to get us up to speed, at least for now. We have fuel enough for probably, if we divide that by 8, that's going to be like 3 coal blocks per furnace, which doesn't seem like much, but then it's still quite a lot, because coal blocks will do 60 operations or something, so evidently it's going to take a decent amount of cobblestone off our hands and turn it into smooth stone. I honestly don't think I will need all that much smooth stone, but you never know. With a project like this, it can get a little bit big in terms of scale. And I've not built the entire structure in creative yet, but chances are we will have a decent prototype put together soon. That's all going in there. Excellent. Good, good. And then we just need to fill these up with cobblestone as much as we can. I guess 3 coal blocks, it's like 60 blocks per, or is it 80? I think it's more like 80. So I reckon if I empty my entire chest of cobblestone from over here into these, then I will get a decent amount done. And then I still need to build a couple of hoppers, but I'm a little bit low on iron, so I'll need to smelt up some of this iron as well. And we'll put the furnaces that I brought over from my Freehaven house over here for small operations like that, so we can get that going. Let's get that 4 pieces of coal. And where do we get to with these? Probably around here, like so. Put a couple more stacks in there, a couple more in there, and then I've always got some more coal I can fall back on if I need to. These guys I still need to make hoppers for, so that's going to happen. Yeah, it's been a fun week. I've got a couple of really awesome collabs out. You may have seen Build Battle with the Naja the other day as well. We've also teamed up with some other of her server mates to play Minecraft Murder, so that's coming out I think on Thursday or maybe Tuesday, one of the days beginning with T and ending in day anyway, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll be playing a little bit more of that in future as well. And yeah, there's a bit of stuff going on. Terraria series is going well, Bastion series is going well. It's all pretty good right now. Still no news on the job front, sadly, but I've got a bunch of applications in right now and waiting to hear back from some of those. So with any luck, I should be finding something that I can do with my time after that. Just one more hopper over here and I think we'll be good. Oh, pop that on the top there. And I need a bit more cobblestone, actually. I'm running out of the cobblestone in this chest. I think I got all of it. Yeah, I did. Okay, well, never fear, we have plenty more over here. Almost too much, in fact. So we'll pop this in here. And one of the things I kind of want to do, because I have all of these chests and stuff all over the Nameless Ruin, but I don't really have a house as such. I don't really want to live in any of these houses necessarily, because they're all kind of part of a separate project. I kind of want to build myself a bit of a base, and I'm not sure where it should be. I think maybe I want to build something underground, because I've been kind of digging the idea of making like a... I've been digging the idea of making a cave. Wow, there's a ton of smooth stone in here now. I almost couldn't get my words out then. There's tons of it. Okay, right. Well, that should be enough for us to get started. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I want to build myself a bit more of a base. A bit more of somewhere that I can use for storage over here, so I don't have to keep going backwards and forwards to Freehaven in order to get materials and stuff. I want like a second Freehaven basement basically at this point. Let's throw those in there for now. And so I was thinking about doing something maybe down by the zombie spawner, because I have a portal leading to that, and that kind of makes the most sense to have a portal close to where you want your base to be. So I was thinking about maybe expanding this section here. If it's actually quite away from everything else in the Nameless Ruin, so I can keep it tucked out of the way while I work on some projects around here. And it's got this kind of cave system back here that I've never really done anything with. I've sort of blocked off this area so that zombies and stuff don't wander up from the places that aren't super well lit. And got a furnace in here. We've got a ton of chests just laying around with building materials in that I really want to get squared away. Obviously the spawner is a little bit tidier and we have tons of like armor and stuff down here, but I would like to be able to clear that out every now and again just to make things a little bit tidier. So what I'm thinking I should do is either convert part of this cave system into a bit of a base, kind of do what like Jefferson did in the last Decidedly Vanilla server, where he kind of has a cave base or like Ethos Cave from his single player series, or maybe I should just build myself like a decent house or a tower or something on the surface. And it being on the surface would be good for like aesthetic reasons, because it could be kind of turned into part of the Nameless Ruin. But on the other hand, it would be nice to have something a little bit different, some kind of style of building that I hadn't really done before. And I haven't really done like a cave base before. And that's what I'm doing on my Patreon server right now. So it might be cool to kind of do a similar thing here. I'm not sure, because I've only been really streaming from the Patreon server. I haven't been making videos from it. So how about we head over and do that? Do I have any kind of interesting materials to use? It's pretty much just cobblestone right now, and andesite and like podzol and stuff. I don't think I really see myself using podzol for much. So it's going to be a bit of resource gathering on its own, and a bit of other stuff, a bit of design, a bit of cave interior design. There's a ton of rose bushes around here as well. Anyway, what do we have in these chests? Do we have like a specific type of wood? Knowing me, it's probably going to be spruce, but we've got a bit of nether brick in here. I haven't really used nether brick for much. I haven't got that in huge supply, but there's some netherrack around here which I could always add to the smelting operations. Let's get some of that on the go now. Obviously we're not going to get a huge amount from this, but never mind, we will find a way. And yeah, I haven't used nether brick a great deal. It's kind of one of those blocks that you don't find much goes with it. But obviously it goes well with grey, because everything goes well with grey. And I reckon we can make something work with that as a theme. Maybe do like a kind of red themed base, get some red stained clay in here or something like that. That's got potential. I can see that having potential, and we can gather red stained clay in large numbers from the mesa here and there as well. How about granite? Is granite going to look... Granite looks really weird next to anything dark. It kind of looks a little bit metallic almost. Like it's got this kind of coppery shine to it, which could work, but just the texture of it I'm just not a huge fan of. How about polished granite? Is that going to look any better? Potentially. They've got something together, but I'm not sure if it's the chemistry I'm after. So we will bench granite for now. I always end up not using granite when I kind of say, maybe I should put that in this time. Nope, never happens. So there's some slabs in there as well. Maybe we can do something with slabs. Let's work out something together here. We can pop this down. I do want to make this a little bit more permanent in terms of the structure in here, because it all looks very temporary right now. It looks like it's waiting for me to do something with it. So we can kind of have steps going down here, and then we can have something a little bit more interesting around here. And this kind of spirals all the way down, the downward spirals. So I do wonder if we can do something with that in terms of structure, or if I'm going to make it a little bit more organized. Caves look very organic, and what I'm after is probably going to be a little bit more squared off. It's going to be kind of cut, like if I open up this so that the cave wall is flat right here, make sure I put the torches back up, then it's going to have a very specifically organized look to it. And what is this leading in here? Have I been in here? There's one block of grass, which makes me think Endermen have been here. And that is like an upward shaft that I have not explored, as far as I'm aware. Can I get up there? No, I can't get up there. Weird block placement, because I've got slabs in my inventory. How about we just pillar up using dirt? And in his man cave before, in his cave on the last server, hello zombie noise. Where are the zombies at? Oh, interesting. There's like a different entrance here, in like a patch of birch. Cool, so this could be like a ground entrance, I suppose, almost, because I've been using that trapdoor to get to the zombie spawner easily, but we don't necessarily need to use that. Alright, yeah, we can have a couple of entrances up here. I feel like that'd be a kind of cool thing to do. And we can wall this bit off, obviously. This might be where all the zombies have been coming from when I've found them wandering down here. Is that going to work? I think that should be enough to keep them out. Yeah, I reckon we can do this. I reckon we can turn this into like an elevator shaft or something like that. We can put like a minecart elevator in. Is the zombie spawner on right now? It sounds like it might be on. I don't think I've left it on when I've been here, but Potentially I have, I don't know. Right, brewed up a few night vision potions, and we're going to take a look at down here. Now let's see where the smelting stuff is at. It turns out I have a bunch of smooth stone in one of these chests. I think, yeah, it's this one. So I can at least get started on the design without tapping this, but this is looking pretty epic right now. So that may even be enough smooth stone for a decent chunk of this. I don't think it will be all of it, but it will be a decent chunk. So I'm going to take the first of our night vision potions and do a dive. I'm probably going to work on this end of it today, which is going to be sort of a large entranceway, and it's not actually that big the way I've designed it in creative, but it will probably end up changing a little bit from that once I get a better idea of the scope of this place. So let's build some stone bricks. I'm going to do most of this in stone brick for now. I have a couple of places where I'm using cobblestone and cobblestone stairs, so I'll grab a little bit of that, but it's mostly stone brick, and I'm going to need to actually grab all of the cobblestone for that one. There we go. Let's have some of that, and let's dive on in. Now, the considerations for working underwater are that for a start, you've got to have night vision and preferably water breathing. I don't have any water breathing potions on me right now, so it's not going to be a huge problem without them, but you will need to create some kind of airless, or not even airless, I mean like airy space under here. So I'm going to build something here, and I think if I do this, it will actually create an air pocket for me. So I can always return to that if I need to breathe. Either that, or you put a torch on the wall, or you use a bucket of water directly in front of you, that kind of thing. So there are a couple of tricks you can do, and that should make things a little bit easier. Next up, I'm going to see how big the middle of this is. This like directly in the middle of here? I think it is. Just about. Okay, good. So what we want to do is build a couple of blocks either side of here, like this. And this is where the kind of first bit of the doorway is going to go. It goes two in like that. It's great having a second monitor now, because I can actually take a look at where I placed stuff in creative. Now this is going to be, actually it needs to be one further back than that, because I have something sticking out further. Yeah, it's good to have the image up there. Obviously you guys can't see it, so I'm sorry that I'm referring to something that's kind of off camera, but then it comes around like this. The other thing about building underwater is how slow you can move around, but it does have a bit in common to building in creative mode, in that you have a little bit more freedom to kind of float around your structure, almost as if you were flying. It's a very, very slow flight, but it does mean you can build some interesting structures like this. So I'm hoping that this will actually kind of pay off as an approach, and I can build something quite impressive in survival without having to put in as much effort as I would kind of scaffolding wise, kind of building up and around. And obviously the interior is going to have stuff like that, but I'm not too worried on the interior yet. I'm focused on building something that looks pretty impressive from the outside. So we're going to be able to kind of sink down here and get in through the front entrance like this. I think I kind of put, not stairs, I put a solid block on here, like here and here, and then that kind of extends up into the ceiling. And then around here, I think we end up with cobblestone stairs there and there. It's kind of funny with the current kind of pulling me into this. It's quite good as like a safety mechanism almost, because I can kind of just drift backwards into this. And yep, my night vision potion is running out already, so you can tell I've built and rebuilt this a couple of times because I made a couple of mistakes on the way, but that's looking pretty good right now. I've got some spruce wood and spruce wood planks as a kind of door frame in here, so I might build that next, although I do want to go up and get some cobblestone walls figured out. I might even put a crafting table down here if I need to craft some stuff on the fly. It would make a little bit more sense than going up to the surface every single time, but we will see how that figures out. We'll put the stairs in here, and tucking those away in the corner means that they're part of the structure, they're kind of part of the overall detail, but you don't have to look at them all the time. So up here we're going to have a beam of a couple of stone bricks across, like so, and same on the opposite side, but then the middle of that is kind of taken up by a cobblestone stair, and we have this kind of come across the middle as an archway. So let me take that back out and use that like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's just these little kind of details here, like this square of blue that's now in front of that makes me wish I could do it another way. It's a little bit weird the way water reacts to those blocks, but that's not necessarily something I can gripe over, you know? That's not a huge complaint I have. Let's put another stair up the top here, and some of this is going to be drained of water anyway, so some of these block faces will not have water next to them. So hopefully that should eliminate the problem a little bit. I do want to raid an ocean monument on this server at some point, but I'm probably not going to do that on camera, if that's okay with you guys, because I have done a lot of ocean monument raids on camera. I'm pretty used to them by now. I think I've done them on streams and stuff as well. So if you would like to see that, if you really need to see an ocean monument getting raided, let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and do it on my own, because I've done a few of them before. It's not like I have to prove to you guys that I can do it anymore. You know that I'm obtaining like sponges and stuff legitimately. But yeah, that's what I really want it for, is sponges, so I can clear out the interior of this without any undue fuss. And I think I know where there are a couple of ocean monuments on the server. It's just a matter of going out and getting to them, because there are large patches of ocean out in the wastelands, which various people have claimed for their bases and stuff, but some ocean monuments are still kind of unraided. So we'll head out and get some of those so we can clear out the interior of this once we have a bit more clearable space. That section over there, it's not going to be a problem because it's already cleared out, but we will see how that ends up working out for us. Now I think we can begin the archway over here. I think that's more or less where this starts. I may have to alter this in a second if it's not going right, but I think it is. And then I need some polished andesite to go in the gaps here and there, because there are a couple of places where I thought polished andesite would fit the bill. It blends nicely with stone brick, so it's a good block to use for something like this, for a bit of variation. Cool, this is definitely coming together the way I wanted it. The last thing I'm going to add for today is going to be our old friend the Nameless God's face, and he's going to stay up here. It's going to be kind of a reminder of what this church is supposed to represent, and it's supposed to be kind of like the Nameless God's faith, I suppose, like his center of faith. And we're going to need another andesite here. We need something to go behind these two as well. And I was thinking of putting an emerald ore block there, because I have a few of those that I wanted to use for decoration. I feel like having a dispenser there doesn't really make sense, considering that this place is surrounded by water to begin with, so it's not like he's kind of flooded this whole area with water. So instead I was thinking maybe an emerald ore block. I just think they're nice, and they're kind of rare enough for it to be something interesting to go there. And this one, I've actually kind of given him like a helmet sort of thing, like this, and then done some work around the sides to make it look like he's got almost like armor around the outside. There, and with a cobblestone stair underneath it like this. If I can grab those real quick. It's just so slow to get up and down every time. But yeah, cobblestone stairs kind of underneath it like that. And then we'll put two on the top either side like that. Like so. So that definitely looks like the kind of the front piece of a church without it being too tied to any kind of earth religion. It sounds like I'm some sort of alien who's come to study earthlings, but you know what I mean, like any kind of real life religion. It doesn't have any great resemblance to anything like that. It's what I'm trying to avoid, really, because it's kind of a fictional thing we've got going on here. That almost looks kind of cool, the way the water accents some of those blocks. So if anything, I'm kind of okay with it. Like, I wish it didn't happen there around the transparent section of the stairs, but the fact that those look kind of blue, and it's kind of like it's tinted the blocks that colour. So in terms of a design, that's actually really neat looking. It's just around those transparent kind of sections of the hitbox that I wish it didn't happen, but on the sides there, like that actually gives it quite a nice little flair. Interesting. That's not something I had really foreseen. I haven't built this underwater in creative, so I hadn't really kind of looked into what that was going to do to it, but it seems to be pretty good. So anyway, what we're going to do to that is we're going to build it out a little bit more off camera, and then I'll come back through with like mossy stone brick and stuff, and I will make it look a little bit more like it's been underwater for a while. The one I have in creative has a bunch of mossy cobble and stuff in it, and there are even some vines growing up the side, kind of for effect, but those are going to have to wait until we clear out the air in the space, because water and vines do not mix. They will not go together if I try and do that whilst the water is still there. So we will probably have to deal with that another time. I'm definitely going to have to get some more fuel for this smeltery setup, because even though I have a ton of smooth stone now, I have a feeling we may be needing some more. I've got a couple of lava buckets that were in here that have now gone to smelt the rest of this cobble, and I get the feeling we will be needing a lot more than this. Meanwhile, back at the cave, I've been wondering if birch and nether brick go well together, and it's still just doesn't quite feel right to me. There's something weirdly like yellowy green about birch when you look at it like that kind of makes me want to use it, but kind of no. And I'm wondering what will happen if I get some red stained clay in here and throw that in, because that's definitely a block that I think will go well with the nether brick, and I think it will go well with the birch as well. I just want to bring out like more of the whitish colour in the birch as opposed to that yellow colour. So maybe if we use something like sandstone instead, that might work, because birch has a lot of a different kind of colour range in it. It's surprising how much difference there is between a birch slab and a sandstone slab in terms of the colours they've got going on. I don't think I have any sandstone here to really prove that, but I've got a bit more birch, so maybe we'll end up using that. Anyway, that is probably going to do it for today's episode. It's kind of been a little bit of like start a project, and you won't get to see where it goes for a little while, but I'm going to work on a couple of these off camera, and you guys will get to see the fruits of that in the next Monday's episode. But thank you very much for watching this. My name has been Pixlriffs. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now. The wonderful Anaja is here. Hello. Where everyone turns into a shark for a little while and is just like swimming around.
The second player looks so derpy because I did it in like a minute.
There's only one guy playing for the purple team.
I like the ball. I like the ball.